I would say it's great to see you all, but I can't see a thing. But I can hear people. There must be people out there. I don't know whose idea it was for me to follow that. Whoever you are, you're fired. But seriously, I want to start by welcoming you to the first Creative Industries Growth Summit. This is the first national and international gathering of the industries that we have chosen to be at the centre of our plan for economic growth. And today I want to talk to you about how together we are going to take the brakes off our fastest growing industries, and from design to TV to music, video games and fashion, we are going to unleash the power of our creative industries. It will grow our economy, it will create good jobs, it will create choices and chances for all of our young people, and it will allow us to power the world through our dynamic creative industries. Now, it's no accident that we chose to meet here in Gateshead, because this is a town, as you all know, with such a proud industrial history. It was through iron, steel and coal that the people of this town and this region powered us through the last century. And Gateshead is now at the centre, at the forefront of Britain's cultural renaissance. Through great institutions like the Baltic and here at the Glasshouse, sculptures like the Angel of the North, and a growing film industry and video games industry across the region, Gateshead and the North East are a shining example, every bit of striking, of the Millennium Bridge, of how you build a living, breathing bridge from our past to our future. But that potential that leaders here see in this region, that exists in every nation and region of the United Kingdom. Our world-class creative industries have given us and the world uniquely British brilliance. From the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland, Derry Girls in Northern Ireland, the Hay Festival in Wales, the Jewellery Quarter in Birmingham, and the British Museum in London, which pulls in more visitors from around the world than in any other part of the world, like New York. But while governments of every stripe have appreciated the social value of our creative industries, we believe they have consistently underpriced the huge economic potential of industries that are already among the most powerful engines of growth. And that underpricing ends with us. I shouldn't have to say it, but I do. From theatre to fashion, from advertising to publishing, the creative industries have grown 50% faster than the rest of the economy. You together in this room are responsible for creating 1 in 7 jobs through the creative economy. You contribute £124 billion to our economy. Your industries generate nearly 6% of our GVA. And Paul Simon once sang, "Every generation throws a hero up the pop charts." And as one of only 3 countries in the world that are net exporters of music, that is so uniquely true of Britain. We are the musicians, the creators, the storytellers. We tell our story, we light up the world, and we power this economy. That talent, that ambition that you have, has built sectors that were worth more to the economy in 2022 than aerospace, life sciences, and the automotive industries combined. But too often, you've done extraordinary things, not in partnership with your government, but despite it. You've been knocking on down doors in Whitehall for far too long with a clear message. You want stability to give investors confidence to back you. You want a government that is prepared to take a bulldozer to every barrier to growth. Well, today you bang on those doors no longer. We are throwing those doors wide open. We share your passion, we'll match your ambition, and we are going to back you to the hill as one of only 8 industries that we believe will power us through the next century. And I'm delighted that Baroness Shruti Vadera has agreed to lead us through this new chapter as the next chair of our revamped Creative Industries Council. She and the titan that is Sir Peter Bazalgette, I've never called you that, Baz. But together they've wasted no time in setting to work on the sector plan, which is our dedicated plan in the industrial strategy that will guide us forward. But as we put those plans in place to carry the torch forwards, you've been nothing but straight with us about what is holding you back. And we've heard it loud and clear. Investment, innovation, international competitiveness, and skills. So today, in all of these areas, we are taking the brakes off our fastest growing industries and inviting you to motor ahead. We're starting by ensuring that you have the investment and the backing that you need. Like every part of the UK economy, the creative industries have amazing startups that struggle to scale up. The growth potential is huge, but the investments are often wrongly deemed too risky, and this is particularly true outside London and the South East, forcing great British creative business to look overseas to scale. Well, we are determined to keep that creative pound here in the UK. So as a first step to addressing that all-important finance barrier, the British Business Bank, which supports over £17 billion in finance for business already, the British Business Bank is committing to increase the scale of its support for the creative industries, backing venture fund, capital fund managers to invest in UK creative industries, supporting those experts who understand the unique strengths of this sector in the UK. And to underline this commitment, the government will ask the British Business Bank to report to us on its investment in the creative industries so that we know the real world impact that it's having. Secondly, we're taking steps today to address one of the principal barriers to innovation, research and development investment. Time and again, we've seen examples of creative businesses coming up with innovations that go on to benefit the wider economy. 3D modelling, pioneered for video games, is now employed by Rolls-Royce in developing engines. Visualisation technologies are helping to bring down the backlog in the NHS, helping surgeons at hospitals like University College Hospital to increase the number of prostate operations they do every year by a factor of 4. That is lives changed because of the work that you are doing. It's why the Prime Minister's Council of Science and Technology recommended that public investment in R&D in the creative industries reflect the size, economic contribution and future growth potential of the sector. So today we're announcing that we will strengthen the investment from our National Research Funding Agency, UKRI, into creative R&D. On the success of the Arts and Humanities Research Council and programmes like the Creative Clusters programme, it means UKRI will develop a specific new strategy to support the creative industries, and it means a long-term investment plan for innovation and growth in the sector, allowing us to build world-leading infrastructure around the UK. And again, to underline this commitment, the government will ask UKRI to report on its investment in the creative industries, because underpinning this is our belief that public and private investment should better reflect the creative industry's contribution to the economy and its enormous growth potential. But as we embrace new innovation across the country, we will do it in a way that works for creatives, rather than just paying lip service to your concerns. Creators have always been at the cutting edge of new technologies, but we hear creators' concerns and we recognise the worry that AI is an existential threat to livelihoods. There is no value without content. So I want to assure you in the clearest possible terms, creatives are at the core of our AI strategy, and when it comes to copyright, we are unambiguous in our desire for a copyright regime that provides creators with real control, transparency, and ensures they can license their content. We're taking on the skills shortages that are holding your industries back. We're really proud to be supporting investments, major investment projects, like the Crownworks film studio in Sunderland. But too often what I hear from young people is that they could no more dream of getting those jobs than of going to the moon. That is not just a tragic waste of human potential, it's bad for business. It's why people like Stephen Knight, the creator of Peaky Blinders, who is working to bring in a film school in Birmingham, is recruiting and training 20% of his workforce from local postcodes. because it's essential for investors to know that they don't have to incur the costs of shipping people in to work on a project, because that talent exists everywhere, but opportunity does not. As a government, we believe that the decision to erase creativity from our classrooms and our communities was an act of vandalism. It led to a 42% drop-off in the number of children taking arts GCSEs since 2010. So the Education Secretary has announced a review of the curriculum, and right at the heart of that, we are putting creativity, arts, music, culture and sport back at the heart of the curriculum where it belongs. And today I can announce that we are going to introduce shorter apprenticeships from August 2025. This is one of our first steps towards a more flexible growth and skills levy, recognising the particular needs of this sector. A movie can take 6 months to film, while the inflexible apprenticeship model that we inherited requires a commitment to 12. We are knocking down those needless hurdles, and this is just the start. Skills England, along with the DfE and the Education Minister Catherine McKinnell, is sitting nodding and smiling in the front row there, and my department are now committing to work with creative employers to identify where else the apprenticeship system can be more flexible to help them get the skills they need when they need them. We want kids growing up in Gateshead and Wigan to know that they have a contribution to make. It is seen and it's valued, and we're going to invest in it. And that contribution is not just to Britain, it's to the world. Because our creative industries aren't just at the heart of our industrial strategy and our economic plan. They are right at the centre of our ambition to reconnect Britain to the world and play our full part again. This week, the Foreign Secretary and I put the creative industries at the heart of our new Soft Power Council, which we lead together and which we launched on Wednesday. We both know that when it comes to international competitiveness, we can't afford to stand still. So in Europe, we're working together to unlock closer cooperation to support our touring artists and those across the EU. And we've wasted no time in introducing tax credits for VFX and independent film, a shining example of how industry and government working together drives investment, creates jobs, and allows the best storytellers in the world to tell those stories to the world. And to drive the sector's international impact, the Secretary of State for Business and Trade and I are extending the Music Export Growth Scheme, which will help artists, great artists, take their talent to the next level, because nobody has a monopoly on talent. Now, I spent 3 years, happiest years of my life actually, just over the Tyne Bridge at Newcastle University. And apart from having to get used to being called a southerner, which those years introduced me to the very rich culture and heritage here in the North East. And when I look around this region, it is obvious to me, as it is to so many of you, that this is a region that should be the Hollywood of the UK, with its innovation, its work ethic, its ability to reinvent and reimagine itself. There is a reason why investors are clamouring to invest here, not just the creativity of the people and the strong local and regional leadership, but the beauty of the backdrops and the sheer scale of the space to build incredible studios like the Crown Works in Sunderland. So it is extraordinary that for 19 of the last 20 years, only 2 regions, London and the South East, have had the backing and investment to make a net contribution to the public purse. Trying to grow the economy while ignoring the potential in most parts of Britain is like trying to fly a jet using only one engine. So as well as breaking down the barriers to investment, innovation and skills, we are going to build on what you've started through the sector plan, learning from the success of London as a global hub to turbocharge the growth of the creative industries right across the UK. There is huge untapped potential across our country, from the music industry in Liverpool to film and TV production here in the North East. And we know mayors and local businesses like Kim here in the North East and Tracy Brabin in West Yorkshire, who's led trade delegations and created cultural collaborations all over the world. They know better than we do how to unlock this creativity, innovation and growth. That is why today we're announcing new funding for 6 mayoral strategic authorities that we believe have the highest potential, which local leaders will be able to spend and invest in what they know local creative industry businesses need. They are the North East, Greater Manchester, Liverpool City region, West Yorkshire, the West Midlands and the West of England. And this is just the first step in boosting growth in all parts of the country. The sector plan will include further support that will benefit all businesses, wherever they're based, and will work with any part of the country that wants to prioritise the creative industries in their local growth plan. Alongside that, we're putting our money where our mouth is. Today, the Chancellor and I are committing £40 million worth of funding towards the creative industries in the next fiscal year and funding 128 businesses to take growth to the next level, including 11 here in the North East of England. That's new funding for creators and creative businesses, major music labels, film studios, fashion houses. It is a serious sign of our belief in these industries, and we are breaking down the barriers so that so many of you in this room can do the same. And this is just the first step. In the months ahead, we will be taking more action, developing the industrial strategy across Whitehall and knocking down the barriers standing in the way of this sector's potential. The UK has lost a lot over the last decade and a half. We've had a stagnant economy, we've had crumbling public services, and we've had choices and chances for our young people taken from them. But most of all, what I think our amazing country has lost is that sense of self-confidence. But despite all of this, our creative industries have been the light on the hill, lighting up the world and driving good jobs and investment. Now you have a government that backs you to the hilt, and there is no limit to what we can do together. Thank you very much.